Hey everyone, happy Friday off the real sports. Got another snowfall out there, but it looks like it's warming up a little bit. So we'll survive it and into the weekend we go. Great weekend as far as, well, two things. Saving us from just beaten over the head pregame Super Bowl stuff. I haven't watched any of it, and I'm really proud of myself for that because I have other interests besides the NFL, believe it or not, and watching countless Super Bowl shows. We have the Waste Management Phoenix Open, the WMM Open as they call it. It's the Waste Management Phoenix Open out in Arizona. I've been there. It is a blast. Saturday, too much crowd for me. I don't think I'll ever do Saturday again if I ever go back. But nonetheless, it's awesome. Great to see on TV. Snowy and cold outside. Looking at some good golf in the desert. The crowds are awesome. Number 16, the stadium hole at the stadium course in Scottsdale is they've redone it again. I think they said they built a whole new structure, all new materials. Anyway, added suites. It's really honestly a corporate hole now. It's not really a hole for the fans, but you got your dudes that are up there acting like morons in the crowd. Small section of them. These people, by the way, they'll either get in line in the morning and stand in line and run to this thing to get into the stadium. I was there on Saturday, and we were at the back of the 10th green. So we were at the last row, 10th green. When you look behind you, you can see 16 right there. You can even see through it a little bit. Pretty cool. But we picked out a guy on the ground. Said, "Hey, that guy in the blue shirt. Let's see where he is in an hour." And he was exactly in the same spot. I told, I told my friend at the time. I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't come out here to stand in line. I came to watch golf." So that's what we did. Anyway, love the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Good field. Scotty Scheffler looking human so far this week. My man Hideki Yatsumata just jumped into the lead, so Matt Fitzpatrick played a really good round yesterday. Chris Gotterup did. So nonetheless, it's awesome. It's what I'll watch until the Super Bowl comes on, and I would watch more of it if the tournament wasn't over right before the Super Bowl. Smart on them. All right, let's see what else. Well, the Winter Olympics are here. So we love the Winter Olympics, and what I really like about it is it's just stuff that you don't get to see regularly. Yeah, I know you can get on Peacock and you can watch the downhill season or figure skating or whatever, and that's cool. I love Olympic sports, but I'm all in. When it's Olympic time, I'm all in. Summer, I mean, I'm watching the stuff I don't get to see, like whitewater kayaking. That's awesome. That's right up there for me. I like cross country skiing. Seems like it would be boring. Or the biathlon, same thing, cross country skiing. And then you stop and you shoot out targets. That's pretty cool. That's like hunting in the woods. They go in the woods and they're up and down and they're skiing all around and it's just hopefully instead of sunlight you get some snowfall. It looks really cool. So I like that. I like the speed skating, short track and long track. I like the hockey. I do. This is different than what Summer Olympics. I could care less about watching basketball. I mean, really, like there's so much to watch. But Winter Olympics, not as much, and you don't get to see the NHL players play very often. So they're back this year. Um, I like this. Everyone says this is the best Team USA they've ever had, or one of the best chances to win a gold medal. But I personally, and they had some weird selections. Um, Suffice to say, I think some of the best players in the United States didn't make the team for one reason or another. You know what? Canada beats us all the time because they just bring their best players. They don't overthink this. I Hey, this guy is a so-so defender, so we're not going to take him, even though he's lead the league in points for American-born players. Uh, yeah, that makes no sense. Not Canada. They bring it, and I think they'll beat USA again. I'm pulling for the Americans, but too many veterans on there for me. I think they left off some good young talents. At any rate, we like everything about the Olympics. I stream on Peacock. I watch on USA Network, NBC, and I just think NBC uh, does a really good job when it comes to sports. The GOAT, well, greatest of all time, strong. best in the business right now, Mike Tirico. Hands down, guy could do a ping pong tournament, and I would be all in. I really would. You know, Costas back in the day, same. Al Michaels could bring you into your living room, or bring you to the TV, bring him into your living room, whatever. You get what I'm saying. But Tirico's the best now. Tirico's the best. It's the best NFL crew. Glad they're doing the Super Bowl. Frankly, NBC could do it every year, and I'd be fine with that. But he just does everything really well. Comes when NBC had the 500, he would do the studio portion of the pre-race and, you know, interjections during the race and all that kind of stuff. But he does the Olympics. It's fantastic. He's doing the Super Bowl this weekend, obviously for NBC, so he would not be there opening weekend. But anyway, we love it. Got the Winter Olympics, got Waste Management Phoenix Open, and when they're ready to kick the Super Bowl off, I'll tune in. But not much before that. Not gonna watch the halftime. Not a Big Bunny fan. You guys can watch Big Bunny. That's not an NFL halftime show for me. So I will leave it at that. But I will have another TV on with whatever Olympics they give us. Hopefully they give us something. You know, some luge. That's the other thing. You can go on Peacock and pick whatever you want. So if you want to watch bobsled training, all the trials, whatever, and you want to watch the luge, and you want to watch the ski jumping, that's another good one. Isn't it fun? After about you calibrate after watching a 4 or 5 go down, and then you're like guessing the meters on the landing. That's cool. I love it. I love it. Would I watch the ski jumping world tour? Probably not. But I'll watch it during the Olympics. All right. What else do we have? Basketball, college basketball keeps rolling down the track. Hey, shout out Miami, Ohio, undefeated out of the Mid-American Conference. You know, which for the selection committee, you know what this means? This means that Miami, Ohio is probably one loss away from not being in the NCAA tournament because they're a mid-major. We gotta make room for the 16 and 12 major teams, right? The college sports, crazy. All kinds of stuff going on right now with players who have played in the G League, but they're still within their 5-year window, getting their eligibility back. Listen, college sports, it is so ridiculous right now. They barely have any rules left. And, you know, they had transfer rules, and then they said one-time transfer, but if you transfer twice, you have to sit out. And, you know, the NCAA had rules forever, right? College had rules forever. But, you know what's changed? These kids are employees of the university, of the state now, because they're getting paid. So guess what? The courts have gotten involved, and it isn't always fun when the courts get involved. And so basically, the courts are running college sports right now. They're the ones ruling and say you can't tell a kid he has to sit out, or that, you know, he can't transfer without sitting out and all that kind of stuff. Because once they start paying these guys, they were like, well, you're preventing them from getting a better deal. But again, they need some changes like all the other pro sports have. You know, because it's just it's gotten out of control. And, you know, all the pro sports have antitrust exemptions, and that's what's going to happen here. They've got to give the college antitrust exemptions and let them come up with their parameters and play by the rules. But right now, there aren't any. So if they start letting guys that have been paid, and I know they're getting paid now, I get it. All right, but you're a college student, allegedly, right? And you signed to go play pro ball somewhere else, you don't get to come back. See, that's another thing. Leagues get to do whatever they want, right? PGA doesn't have to let Brooks Koepka back if they don't want to, but they did. Then they came up with some rules based on the criteria. of which he, basically around him and some others. But regardless, you can make up your own rules. And by the way, you know what? For every kid who transfers every 4 years, and then it helps, I'll bet it hurts. I bet it hurts. So, uh, I don't know. I've had it. I've lost a lot of interest in college sports. I love it when my teams are good, but honestly, I'm just telling you, it is what it is. I'm not here to debate it. The fact of the matter is, I do not like college sports the way I used to. And until they get some rules changes, I'm probably not. Um, I love it. I mean, I like it. I still watch it. Don't get me wrong. I watch everything. I watch horse racing, for God's sakes. I'll watch anything. So, and, it's hard not to watch the NFL and college football because it's one time a week, which gets me to the whole NFL thing. If I'm not tired of the NFL because they're the NFL and just, some stupid things they do and rules and they can't keep people on the field, safety wise, not football as well, just injuries. Now they want to have 18 games, 2 more games. That's crazy. But anyway, PGA has new person in charge. He comes from the NFL side of things, so he's a big event. He knows what a good big events should look like. Um, you know, there's a lot of chatter out there about the PGA condensing his schedule. I mean, they could probably stand to lop off a few events, but we're talking major changes. 38 events to 20 events, plus the majors, and the FedEx. I don't know. Starting after the Super Bowl is what I've read. Don't get the season started. Start it after the Super Bowl and then end it by Labor Day. Can we just have something other than football? Like these weekends where everyone's so afraid of the NFL, they get boring real quick. I mean, there's Saturday college basketball games, but Sunday's nothing. It's crickets, and it's crazy. So golf fans are golf fans. They're going to watch golf. All right. Now, will you get bigger numbers after football? Sure, but I would like to see, you already do that anyway. It's okay to have a product and have events that don't draw massive numbers. I mean, if it's not making money, I get it, right? But, like the Waste Management Phoenix Open works perfectly for Super Bowl weekend. Gives me something to watch, gives us golf fans something to watch instead of a bunch of interviews, like I said before. And the tournament wraps up on Sunday before the Super Bowl. It's fine. I've been there. Right? They see the numbers. 200,000 people on a Saturday alone. Why would you not want to stay on this weekend? Looks pretty successful to me. The weekend before, so last weekend, there's no football on anyway. So why would you not be playing golf then? And here's the other thing. Us folks in the wintertime that can't go out there and play golf, that are, really clamoring to want to, tired of not being, 20 degrees outside, snow, whatever. I like watching the Hawaii swing. Like watching the early California swing, La Quinta and Torrey Pines, into the Waste Management, right? Hey, your fans will consume that, all right? So taking more product away from the fans doesn't seem like a really good strategy to me. They're going to move some of these event numbers around as far as, are they going to have preferred events anymore? Are they all going to be treated the same again but not having 135 person fields and not having 70 person fields, but maybe in 100. I don't know. I read a bunch of things. All I know is you could stand to lop off an event here and there, especially after the majors. Move those around at least, or what have you. Because playing the week after the majors, I'm a fan of not playing. If I was a player, not playing the week after the majors, I totally get that. Good decision. But getting rid of Farmers Insurance Open and Amex and La Quinta, so I don't know how that's good for the game at all. And now you're becoming live. You got 20 events. So I don't know. And now Liv's getting world ranking points. Not a real fan of it. but they are limited. They're limited to top 10, and they're fractioned, right? It's just a percentage of what points would be normally, and they're still crying to live players. I'm like, look, you are a hand-selected league, basically. There's no to say that you're like the DP Tour and the Corn Ferry Tour, PGA Tour, all that kind of stuff. You're not. You're not. You're just your own entity who signed contracts to come on board, and you have a little bit of a play-in at the bottom there, but those guys stink anyway. So they don't deserve to be getting one world ranking point if they can't finish in the top 10. It's not a deep league. So I don't have a problem with just being top 10 because and then a percentage of it. It's just you are what you are. I'm not a fan of them giving them world ranking points anyway, though. I'm not. But they kind of compromised. My point is this: PGA, don't take your product away from the fans and tweak it. You can do that. I think you can. I think you can do both things. Do some tweaking. Let's more content stuff. Let's focus on that, right? But I don't want to see 12 events lopped off. Because honestly, we want to talk about live crumbling and stuff like that. I don't know that if you're a player and you're not getting the events that you need to help work your way up the ladder, that's the other thing. These events are really important to guys who aren't just treated like superstars all the time. And guys are coming and going, right? So you might have a top 50 player who's honestly not playing very well. You might have a guy 80th who is playing well, but he can't work his way back up the ladder if he's not having an opportunity to play these events. These events are very important to the people not named, Scotty Scheffler and Colin Morikawa and Hideki Matsuyama and Jordan Spieth and on and on and on. It's important to Ricky Fowler's of the world who are now down in like 84th in world rankings and need to work their way up. They need to play tournaments. And that's what golf's about. And golfers will always watch the Golf Channel. So that's my rant on that. More on golf later. But by the way, Golf Channel, you got to figure out a way to get a streaming app on Roku because now that you are separated from NBC, I can't do multiple TVs very easily when I can't stream as an option for all my sports. And so like I used to stream golf on, say, the Peacock or the NBC Sports app, and then I'd watch the cable box on another one, right? Can't do that now because Golf Channel is just it's just the Golf Channel. It doesn't have a Golf Channel app, so we need to get that. All right, hey, get a leg up. You have a good weekend. We got some nice horse races. Look at that beauty of a photo, by the way. You can't see this. I mean that is awesome. Santa Anita calendar, the best calendar that I've ever had. Anyway, get a leg up on the weekend. Have a good one. You know what? We didn't even talk about the Pacers trade. Benedict Mathurin traded Zubac, center, coming to the Pacers. Actually, I'm going to have more on that next week because I'm kind of digesting some things. But suffice to say, my quick take is the Pacers, I think the Pacers, if this draft deal doesn't work out for them, they get a top 4 protected pick, and they lose the 5th, 6th pick of the draft on top of losing Mathurin and top of a future first rounder. I don't know, it'll be a devastating trade for the Pacers, but I think it'll be a nice beauty of a trade for the Clippers. So the Pacers do not get that pick protected in this trade from 5 through 9. And if they lose out on this draft pick, and I don't want to hear like, oh, if it drops off after the top 4, blah, blah. Hey, listen, the league's full of really good players who were drafted everywhere. All right? I like draft picks. I do. And I don't like losing very, very talented players like Benedict Mathurin. I don't get the whole, that's a weird player. We're super talented, third leading scorer on the team most years when everyone's, there. Big game changer. Can be a huge game changer, can be a major reason why you win very important games, and he has been. I don't know, man. Lose a player like that on top of potentially a top 10 pick, it's a lot. All right. Hey, get a leg up on the weekend, everyone. Enjoy it. Have a good day.